It has not been easy on the allotment for this period. Cold weather has continued into April. I require more timber to repair damaged beds, but not having my 4x4 anymore, I depend on my friend and plotmate David to assist me with his trailer, but David is on holiday. Work on the polytunnel is still in abeyance. Sowing of seeds is a priority, and bed preparation has to take the order of the day. And bed 11 contains overwintering brassicas, mainly cabbage. The bed had not been touched since last October, when these young cabbages were transplanted, given a feed of a general fertiliser, which was then hoed in, given a good drink of water, and then recovered over with the same old fleece. According to Charles Downing, one does not need to put a spacing brick such as this to protect the cabbages, but I find that when the fleece is low down, pigeons can perk on the face and pick at the cabbages underneath. The extra gap makes perching on the fleece more uncertain, providing the brick, of course, is not too close to a cabbage. Pigeons are a definite problem on this plot. Following recent trials on using different fleeces and meshes, Charles Downing has uploaded a video on the results, which I found very enlightening, particularly for me in the use of old fleece with some damage, and found it has its place. Also, Terry King is trialling an eco-friendly plastic-free netting, which also looks very promising. Cabbages finally tucked into bed. I have weighted the fleece down with the rotten timbers, which I still have to replace, and centre these to the tip. Housekeeping requires some effort. This is a trip hazard. Come on, get a grip, Michael. What I should also be getting a grip on is planting out further brassicas for successional harvesting, but not having the polytunnel or a home greenhouse, I will have to resort to purchasing shop bought plants. My wife also has banned me from windowsill growing, but even without that ban, due to the cost of living crisis, which relates to fuel costs, in brackets the cost of generated power is based on the price of gas, which is the most expensive fuel, of which only 20% is used in power manufacture, so brackets off. So I have turned off my gas at the mains and run everything on electric using ceramic heaters. The rule is only heat the rooms you are actually using. I do have solar panels on the roof together with a battery, and it's working. For example, this month to date, as we now speak, I have consumed 114.32 kilowatt hours, and my panels have generated 96.72 kilowatt hours, which to date constitutes £43.44, and my panels have saved me £36.84. So to date, first week of April, I've only spent £6.60, and I think that's a winner. What's all this got to do with the price of cabbages? Well, I'm not the only person in the UK trying to balance the books. So are our garden centres, nurseries, etc. For me, I have noticed the price of vegetable plants at the garden centre have gone up in price. My local garden centre at Punnet is £3.49. Tesco's is £3 a punnet. Waitrose £4 a punnet. Aldi £1.99 a punnet, which they have but are now sold out and they've not restocked, and there's nothing either at Tesco. And Morrison's, when I went, they had nothing, but I was fortunate. I did buy these cabbages you see me plant out at Aldi at £1.99. We have in Sussex near Shoreham quite a few market gardeners who grow tomatoes in large glass houses, and some have ceased growing the tomatoes due to the excessive cost of maintaining heat in the glass house. So it is important in this financial climate that we endeavour to grow our own fruit and veg. And I believe a lot of people are trying to grow their own fruit and veg, either at home or on an allotment. But most of us know there are waiting lists for allotments. I've also noticed at the supermarkets that compost is becoming scarce. And in actual fact, at home base, when I went down there, they had none at all. They said somebody had come at night and stolen it. So that shows you the times we're in. And home base no longer store their compost outside. It goes into the warehouse. Okay, all these cabbage plants have now been pricked out, and it's fingers crossed they grow into sturdy plants. But the sky is beginning to darken, and I've just time to plant out my onion sets before the rain arrives. It's back home for a shower, shave and fresh clothing, and let's see what tomorrow brings. Next morning it's down to the allotment after some incessant rain overnight, mainly to record the planting of the onion sets, which appear to have survived the onslaught, and you can observe the very wet condition. I went down to record how my first earlies were doing. I had planted these in buckets on Easter Sunday, and they should be showing by now. I ceased planting potatoes in the ground, as no matter how careful I was in harvesting them, I always had the inconvenience with volunteers coming up in the next season, interfering with the planned crop, and they've just started to come through. A beautiful day today, but fun and games with the electric boards contractor, bringing onto site some very large plants using low loaders, and we spent more time shuffling our parked cars to allow them access. The bright spark of the day was the first earlies I put on a spurt, and the daily temperature is now becoming quite warm. Great conditions for some in situ seed sowing, such as rhubarb chard vulcan, parsnip tender and true, and finishing with beetroot Volt Hardy. The brassicas that had overwintered had put on some height, so the enviromesh was further lifted to give protection, and the brassicas pricked out earlier also were looking healthy, but some had been attacked. Did not look like slug damage, more like flea beetle, but following Charles Downing's upload, could they be wood lice? I don't know. I think it's snails, and I think they're hiding underneath that tyre. So I put down some slug pellets. This enviromesh tent is a quick and easy solution at a low cost. I've had the water pipe hooked some time now, and as well as the enviromesh, and this is cable tied to the hoops. Did not expect this. The Swiss chard, where are the beetroot? Same family. A good feeling when seeds first appear has made an appearance. Too early for the parsnips, but hey, it's always great. A good feeling when seeds first appear. The onion sets are looking healthy, as so are the leeks, so I'm quite pleased with those. Strawberries in a good need for weeding, though the flowers are showing, so I must really get onto that. Last but not least, this is how the potatoes first earlies are showing today. So it looks like I'm going to get a good crop this year, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Well, that brings me to the end of my April plot tour. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up would be nice, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. But it just leaves me to say, you take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.